Hello, everyone. I'm Devyn Gaydos, the marketing manager here at ClearEdge, and welcome back to Spark the Space, where the ClearEdge team shares all of our knowledge, expertise, and inspiration with you so your marketing can be better than ever. Today, I am joined by our incredible Senior Director of Brand and Communications, Jennifer Bernhart. And as we all know, your brand and your branding are your opportunity to bring something new and unique to the industry. But getting to the point where your brand is actually standing out takes work and a lot of research. So, we're going to talk today about what a brand research initiative looks like, especially when you work with us here at ClearEdge, as well as sharing some tips that can help you get started on your own research journey. Let's start with the foundation, Jennifer. Why is it worth the time to do research when you're looking to develop an optimized brand? Why can't you just jump in and start doing stuff?
Okay, so thanks, Devyn. At the risk of stating the obvious, a brand isn't what you say it is, it's what exists in the minds of your customers, both current and future. So you are constantly broadcasting what your brand is all about on your website, on social, even in sales conversations. But if your audience isn't getting the message, or even worse, if the experience you're delivering is at odds with the story that you're telling, then there's a gap. So those gaps make it harder to move your audience down the sales funnel. And in the longer term, it can really damage your brand reputation. So what we try to do is assess those gaps and then close them by finding common ground between you and your audience.
I love that so much. I think we get so wrapped up in when we're building our brand. It's what do I want to present? What do I want to give to the world? And it's like, what have you already set up? What have you already provided to them? And yeah, that research that's so key. So can you share a quick rundown of kind of what that research process looks like when someone's working with us here at ClearEdge, and what are some of the guiding principles that you use to move that research along?
Yeah, sure. So we often start with a brand health check, which is more of a quantitative assessment of brand equity. And that's based on some key digital, social, operational metrics. When we move into more in depth brand research, we take a qualitative approach. So ultimately, the goal is to uncover why people absolutely love working with you, why they are raving fans, and those are the people we call loyalists. And those are the people we want to talk to. So may seem a little counterintuitive. You may think, I can't understand what our gaps are, where we need to improve by talking to people who love us. But that approach really involves understanding their pain points and how you uniquely solve them. So we also use qualitative interviewing techniques that's in depth, loosely structured, open ended questioning. So you might get a question like, what stresses you out? How has working with this partner made your life easier? Or what about the experience of working with this company connects most with your own personal values?
Mm.
And we love fill in the blank questions. So we might say, working with this company feels like blank. So
I love that.
it's a little awkward. People are like, "Ooh, fill in the blank." I haven't done this since
Right.
third grade. But what we're trying to do is really follow these authentic threads that about the connections that people have with your brand, not just a superficial perspective. And we're looking for shared values, and we're looking at insights into buying decisions.
Yeah, and I love that because that feels like it comes from a place of the people. It's not coming from the place of just the products and the services and what you provide. It's coming from people, which we know is what makes a really great brand. And I know, fun fact for everybody listening, I was a ClearEdge client. Companies that I worked with were a client before I started working here. And we went through this process. And I remember thinking, I have never thought about these brand questions. I have never thought about, filling in the blank like that or what it feels like to do business with us. But it made a huge difference. And all of a sudden, we were unique and we were different in the industry in a way that we hadn't been before. So I love that because it does bring about that really unique quality that comes from people and from hearing people speak. So That is going to be a big process when people are we're digging into doing some brand development and brand research for them. If people aren't quite ready to dive into that full excavation process, what are some of the top tips that you have for them to kind of get started on their own? How should they dive into their own brand research work just to even, get the wheels turning?
Yeah, it's all about balance. We totally get that. There's a lot of pressure in marketing to deliver ROI and
Hmm.
clients. So, brand research may be less of an appetite for that. But there's still some useful benchmarks that in-house teams can use to track in this capacity. So things like Net Promoter Score, Google Glassdoor reviews, satisfaction surveys that you send out. You can also look at metrics like branded versus non-branded search volume, domain authority for your website, and social engagement. So the bottom line is you're looking for any and all opportunities to gather insights about what matters most to your audience and your specific audiences so that you can then turn around and use that information to craft more accurate and meaningful go-to-market strategies.
So, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're listening, be sure to connect with Jennifer on LinkedIn. And as always, you can learn more about all that we do over here at ClearEdge, including our marketing, recruiting, leadership development, and brand research services over at meetclearedge.com. And we'll see you all next time.